All right, let's talk about the West Michigan housing market. If you feel like the rules of the game have completely changed recently, you're not wrong. We're moving away from that absolute frenzy and into a market that's all about finesse. So let's break down what that really means for you. I mean, seriously, it wasn't that long ago, was it? You put a sign in the yard on a Friday, and by Sunday, you were sorting through this mountain of offers. That frantic, competitive feeling, that's what defined the market for years. But, well, that chapter is closing. A new one's beginning. Okay, so first, let's just quickly look back at that market we all remember. This is the then part of our story. This quote from Cornerstone Home Group just nails it, doesn't it? It was all about speed and emotion, remember? As a buyer, you had to waive everything, offer way over the asking price, and make these huge, life-altering decisions in what felt like minutes. It was intense, it was unsustainable, and honestly, for a lot of people, it was just incredibly stressful. Okay, so that was then. Let's talk about now. And we're going to move from just feelings and memories to the actual hard data that defines the market right at this moment. Yeah, this is the question, right? It's not just a vibe shift or a gut feeling. There are specific numbers that show a fundamental change is happening. And the most important one? Well, it all boils down to one word: inventory. And here it is: 2.5 months. This number is the key to understanding everything that's happening. It's what we call the months of supply. Now, after years of being stuck at maybe 1 month, sometimes even less, this jump is a huge deal. But what does it actually mean? Well, let's put that 2.5 into context. It's pretty simple, really. Anything under 3 months, that's still technically a seller's market. 3 to 6 months is balanced, and over 6 is a buyer's market. So, yeah, sellers definitely still have an edge, but the ground is leveling out, and it's leveling out fast. We are getting so close to that balanced territory we haven't seen in years. And check this out. This is the real-world result of having more inventory. Look at the Zillow data. The majority of homes, we're talking nearly 54%, are now selling for under the asking price. Less than 30% are going for over list. The whole automatically expect a bidding more mindset, yeah, that's over. Okay, so what does this mean if you're thinking about selling? Well, it means you need a whole new playbook. That old one where you did the bare minimum and got maximum results, you can just toss it. This chart really lays it all out, side by side. In the frenzy market, you could price it a little crazy, barely prep the house, and just watch the offers flood in. But now, it is all about strategy. You have to price it correctly from day one. The presentation has to be flawless, and guess what? Negotiation is back. Inspections, appraisals, all those things buyers had to give up, they matter again. The bottom line is simple: strategy has officially replaced speed. And this quote from the Lash Group just hits the nail on the head. You can't just slap up some blurry phone pics and expect a miracle anymore. Why? Because buyers have choices now. They can afford to be picky. If your home doesn't look great online, they'll just scroll right past it. Preparation is no longer optional. It's absolutely essential. All right, let's flip this around. What about for all the buyers out there? For you, this shift is all about one thing: breathing room. Finally, this might just be the moment you've been waiting for. I mean, look at this. For the first time in a long time, buyers have some leverage. You have time to actually think. You can get a proper inspection and use that to negotiate. You might even be able to ask the seller to help with closing costs. This is just a much healthier, more rational way to make one of the biggest purchases of your life. Now, let's be super clear. This doesn't mean it's a full-on buyer's market. Not yet, anyway. The really great homes are still going to move fast. But this is, without a doubt, the most balanced playing field we've seen. So if you're one of those buyers who got burnt out and just gave up, well, this is your sign. The window of opportunity is opening up. So what do we call this whole shift? A slowdown? A correction? The best way to frame it is as a return to something we haven't seen in a while: balance. I love this slide because it shows the psychological shift just as much as the market one. We are moving away from a market driven by frenzy, emotion, and just chaos, and we're entering one guided by strategy, logic, and control. This isn't a downturn, it's the market growing up. And this is so important to hear right now. The headlines love drama, but the data shows the market isn't crashing, it's adjusting. It's moving away from a totally unsustainable peak and settling into a more stable, predictable place. This is the market correcting itself, not falling apart. And that brings us to this final idea, which is maybe the most powerful one. A boring market is actually a huge win for everyone. Sounds kind of weird, right? But think about it. A boring market prevents speculative bubbles. It allows for healthier, long-term growth. And it lets both buyers and sellers make one of the biggest decisions of their lives based on logic, not on panic. And that's a win. So we'll leave you with this thought. In a market that's now driven by strategy instead of speed, the key to success is no longer about reacting to the frenzy. It's about carefully planning with finesse. So the question is, how will your approach need to change?